Welcome back to the newest episode of What the Frick Reviews. My name is DJ.
I'm Katie.
And today we're going to talk about The Stupids, a 1996 movie.
Yes.
No adjective needed for this one.
No, it's just pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's just a classic old 90s movie
Yes.
for the children that you play at daycare.
Debatable, but I'll allow it. I'd let my kid watch this movie. Would you let your kid watch this movie?
100% would let my kid watch this movie.
All right.
There's a lot of important lessons to learn, like how to deal with the military.
I mean, I guess if my kid is having a bad day, they fail a test or something, I'll just put that on and make them feel better, you know?
Oh, I thought you were going to be make them deal with the military.
No, they're going to the military.
Yeah.
No.
You're like that wannabe stepdad in Cat in the Hat. He could go to a military academy.
What is his name?
I don't know. It's Alec Baldwin.
Oh, yeah, Alec.
Alec. So The Stupids is about a family aptly named The Stupids. That's their last name. It's on their mailbox.
So it's official.
It is official. You have the
Goals.
The father. His name is Stanley Stupid. Joanne Stupid is the wife. Petunia Stupid is the daughter, and Buster Stupid is the son. And Buster Stupid is played by the kid who is Alfalfa in Little Rascals.
Is his name Bug?
Buster.
No, in real life. Bug Hall.
Oh, I think it is. Yes.
Mm-hmm. They could have just used that name.
Yeah.
Bug Stupid.
He was like, wait a second, that's my name.
Yeah.
The first thing I wrote when this movie started is to not to be cinema sins, but 2.5 minute long open. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, why would, there's so, we're going to talk about the plot real quick, but that's just to get out of the way. You got to skip 3 minutes into the movie because for some reason this movie thought we needed to sit during the credits.
Yeah, okay. I was actually thinking the same thing. I was like, is this what they did before Netflix? Because I don't think I've watched a movie where it had so much intro, and I was just like, I don't care who made this, but I also
it actually is definitely a period of time, because a quick movie fact for you, the movies back in the 20s to the 40s, the credits actually were always in the beginning, so it was forced people to watch the creators. Also, according to some YouTuber I was watching about, a lot of the time YouTube, people would just come in halfway through a movie too. So
really?
Yeah, so maybe they were I don't want to watch the fucking credits, do you? No, we'll just show up 30 minutes in and hope for the best.
Yeah, well, I'm used to a little bit of credits. It does the main part, you know, but this one was wild. It did everything.
Director, lead actors and stuff.
Yeah, special guests.
So The Stupids centers on the Stupids, the family, and this is just a day in their life. I mean, that's really the movie. It's just a day in their life as the Stupids.
Yeah, and then they stumble across some problems.
Yeah.
And they save the world, actually. So
They do save the world twice, actually, if you think about it. We'll get to that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot.
So they wake up in their bed the opposite way because they're... This is literally the first shot of the movie. How did I already forget something?
No. I wrote down it's like a normal suburb. It's just I really liked it. It's very basic, but then you get in their house and it's so colorful and weird.
I did know. I did make that note that the house is very 50s-esque, but and they dress like they're in the 50s. Their kids dress exactly the same as their parents.
Yeah.
And it's very 50s, but luckily, I mean, other than typical 90s doesn't age well jokes, he isn't a sexist 50s father.
Yeah, so that's good. That's
yeah,
good.
you know.
For now, yeah. And then
point.
and so the first scene is them in bed, but they're sleeping backwards. Their feet are on the pillows.
On the headboard, yeah.
Yeah, and then
their head is underneath the covers.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Yeah, I was I mean, that doesn't
they could be stupid and sleep normally.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that they're so incompetent that they don't know how to bed works.
Yeah, but I mean, interesting. I've never tried sleeping like that, so maybe they're onto something.
That's actually, if I can't sleep, that is actually how I sleep.
With the covers over your head and everything?
Sometimes. But then it gets hot.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, well.
Can you breathe?
Never.
Breathing's for the weak.
Yeah, I just wait until I pass out from not breathing. That's how I go to sleep.
You just hotbox yourself.
Yeah.
What is it in those like in the little tents and they're like
yeah.
And you could die. And they're like, no, just get rid of the toxins.
yeah. I know exactly. A yurt. Isn't it a yurt or something?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
And then you in Arrested Development.
Yes, yeah.
That's funny.
So they wake up. Stanley comes out and does his checklist, which is a checklist to go over a checklist. Weirdly, once again, kind of like Cat in the Hat, where she has her little pad, and she's like, my to-do list. First thing, make a to-do list. Check.
Yeah. I wrote it down because it was like, cross this off. Okay.
Don't have time to do that today.
Yeah, and then check this. Okay. And it's like, say, well, that was pretty senseless.
Yeah.
And then I wrote down, I was like, this is your like to-do list at work.
It is literally my to-do list. I shamefully will admit a lot of things Stanley did. I said, shit. Shit. Oh no.
Yeah.
So, and now that he's out of the house, we're introduced to one of the subplots. Someone is stealing Stanley Stupid's trash.
Yeah, his wife accidentally left it out overnight.
On the curb.
Yeah, on the curb.
She was like, "We can start over. We can find trash if we need to." Like he was like acting like they were gonna go poor, like broke.
Yeah, but then I was like, okay, they're dumb. They think someone stole their trash, but like, what are they doing with the trash? Like, why do they care so much?
It's theirs.
But like, it's just the pile's gonna get bigger.
I should introduce you to this pretty unknown show called The Hoarders.
Hey, their house looked pretty clean.
It did look pretty clean.
So, oh god.
So Stanley decides to take it upon himself to figure out who the hell is stealing his trash. And
he has a stakeout.
He has a stakeout, and he falls asleep like I do.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, I'm wide awake, and then I wake up.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I really like this scene because they make it look like they're all sci-fi, and the music's like really intense. The music,
it's all foggy.
Yeah, it's all foggy. The music is like really horror-esque. Like the score of this movie really fits a lot of the vibe that goes on. Like it's being as ridiculous as the stupids are being in the movie. It isn't just like music that you forget about like in most like 90s kids movies. Like at some points I was like, all right, composer, calm down.
Yeah.
I feel you, but damn, dude.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny that it like showed random like a dog sniffing the trash can. He's watching the dog.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, the dog stole your trash, but then eventually he sees the garbage man come. And I thought it was funny because they're like wearing gas masks and stuff. I was like, I never seen a trash man.
Also, no trash man works in the middle of the night.
I know, and I said that too. I was like, it's dark out. Do they do that?
My trash men come when I'm at work.
Yeah.
Like most trash men come because
oh no! I woke up late and I can't get my trash out. I feel like that's how everyone is, right?
Exactly.
In the morning.
And then when you get home, you got to pull in your trash, or you get fined by the HOA.
Oh, you have an HOA?
Yeah. We don't really have that issue. I mean, you've been in my neighborhood. A lot of people still have their trash out, and our trash day is on Tuesday.
Oh my god.
Point of reference: today is Thursday.
Yeah.
And then he goes. So Stanley's like, fuck, I gotta go get those motherfuckers. So he runs into his garage and he's like, 2 wheels.
Was it a bike?
Yep. 4 wheels.
A car.
8 wheels.
Roller skates. He's like, yeah, that's right. That's what. Oh, I wrote down big brain.
Yeah, big brain power right there.
Yeah.
Like once again, kind of relate to that line of thinking. I have a very embarrassing story that I'll let everybody in. I tried to bake earlier this week.
It doesn't end there. That's not the story. But
and I bake well, but the problem is I found out that the baking pan sizes aren't suggestions, and it kept telling me use a 9x13, and we only had a 13x9, and I was genuinely convinced that those were two different pans, so I just went with the closest equivalent was, which is an 8x8.
it's practically the same thing.
Yeah, I mean...
13 times 9, what is that?
You're
112.
Okay.
Maybe. And then 8x8 is 64.
So is it
13 by 9 is practically double.
Oh. Well, yeah, I don't want double the blondies.
Well, no. So he was trying to make the blondies and they weren't cooking through. And he's like, I used 2 different types of butter. I was like, maybe that's it. Alyssa said that the sugar just settled in the middle. I'm like, I don't know about that. And then he's like, I used the wrong pan. I'm like, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, my wife was really not happy about that because she helped me make the second batch, and we did a pretty good job.
Oh, yeah, they made 2. They made 2.
Yeah, we made 2, and I made the mistake twice. Honestly, it's on my wife because she should have known I was doing something stupid.
Oh, no, do not blame her.
It's not blaming in the sense. It's not blaming in the sense. It's just...
I'm blaming her, but I'm not.
Yeah, it's like she should have expected worse of me.
Oh my god. She has a little faith in you, and then you're like, why did she have faith?
Yeah,
in you?
that was your first mistake. So anyway, the dad wheels away and follows the trashman. Everyone wakes up and they're like, "Where's Papa?" And then we're introduced to the CGI cat named Dog.
Yes, I know, but we see Buster was walking his fish.
Oh, yes. Buster walks in with a giant ass fish bowl. Yeah. Just walking my goldfish.
Yeah, and that's a big fish. It's a big bowl. And then they're like, Dad's gone.
Yeah.
Blah, blah,
and she was like, write this down for me.
She's like, we got to go to the police station. Write a note for Mom.
Yeah.
And she's saying,
Dad has been kidnapped.
We're going to go to the police station. Signed your children.
Yeah.
And then but Buster can't write that fast, so he says police kidnapped your children. So they left that for the mom. But yeah, I wrote down too, the cat is animated. The only animated thing
are the animals.
Yeah,
because there is a like, I said CGI, but it's actually more like stop animation.
Yeah.
And I don't get why. Like, there's one thing with this movie that I should have started with. I thought this movie was like originally some type of sketch. Like, I thought there was like we reviewed Dougal 2 weeks ago, and that had like a lineage behind it, and then Dougal happened, and that lineage quickly got buried, just like E.T. and Atari.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you won't understand this. There's somebody out there that will get that reference. And then I thought this was like an SNL sketch or a Mad TV sketch or any of that. And no, this is just a completely original idea. And they were like, oh, yeah, and their animals are stop animation.
Yeah, I want to know who made that decision.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. It gives a little more, character.
Yeah, that is something I will give it definitely brownie points. The movie starts and it just throws you in. They're like, this family is stupid. And that's all you need to know. Have fun, kids.
Yeah. And so then the kids are off.
Yep.
And then the mom finds the note. And then as she's done reading the note, she gets a call on the phone. And it's the police from the police station. It says, we have your children, ma'am. And she's like, oh, it's true.
and then she runs into the wrong door. She runs into the pantry and then runs out. I really like that. She just full on sprints into the pantry and then comes out of it.
Yeah, and then the next scene is just showing her driving towards the police station. The kids driving away from the police station in the police car, and then the dad's still skating.
Yeah, and the dad's
they're all skating. A mess.
Yeah, they're all, by the way, this is like 9 a.m. of their day.
I know.
And I was like, this is like a work day, so like, why do the kids need to be at school?
I know, and then also, they never go over what they do for a living.
No, not even remotely. We get a glimpse into like what he did in the past, but like, yeah, this is like kind of like how The Simpsons, like he just is a one income house. This is like a no income house, but they have a bigger house than I do.
I know, the house is pretty nice. And they have a pool in the backyard.
They do have a pool in the backyard. Yeah. And a fence. Fences are fucking expensive. Like a wooden fence?
Okay, a pool is more expensive. Why are we noting a fence?
You don't have a dog, that's why.
And?
I have to walk Jake 2 times a day, every day. If I had
You're
a fence,
right. No, a fence is pretty essential.
Yeah. And then, so Buster and Petunia arrive home, and they see a man putting something in their, like, door, and it is an advertisement for the Jade Palace.
Well, no. The kids come home.
Yep.
And they're like, Mom and Dad are gone now. All of them are gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, he puts an ad because he's just like a delivery guy and whatnot. And so they're like, why is this here? This is a reason. We need to go to the Jade Palace.
Yeah, and then Buster said this has become a deadly game of cat and mouse.
Oh, yeah.
Like, these kids are ready to kill.
Yeah.
And then, so now we know where the kids are going. And now we're back to the wife because the wife is looking for her kids. And she's like, wife log.
Yeah, she's speaking into something.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you find out it's just a garage door opener. She's like, I need to buy a recorder.
Yeah.
And then it pans over to a guy, and their garage door opens, and paint goes everywhere.
Yeah.
And
what a cool winky dink.
yeah. Oh, well, how convenient.
This movie is just full of hijinks and goofs.
I know. And in my head, I was like, you got to set the little clicker. It won't just click it off.
I thought the same thing, but my brain was like, I mean, it's the 90s, so maybe the technology wasn't advanced enough.
You can no, because then people would just be stealing from others all the time.
Oh, yeah, that is a
You'd be
good
like,
point.
you can't lock your door, bitch. Click.
Yeah, you know
Like-
what? That's a good point. That's a giant security flaw.
Yeah, maybe for like a day, and then they realize we can't do that.
Yeah. Like the guy who invented it was like, why would I need to like lock this tight? And their neighbor like walked. He's like, why are you here? He's like, because I could open it. He's like,
Yeah.
Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and make that a security feature.
No, you know what would make me live it if someone just came in, they acted all casual, and they just open your fridge, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing here? Hey, you got any milk? Like just eating your food. I think I would be pissed.
Yeah. It's like, man, you only have like almond milk? That kind of sucks. He's like, it's not your house.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Get out.
You can't tell me what I can buy.
But I think, okay, so this next part, so it pans back to the kids and they're at the restaurant.
Yep, they're at Jade Palace.
And I love this part when they get there.
I'm wondering if we're gonna agree on this because I also wrote.
I wrote down a few things when they were at the restaurant because it was pretty funny. But they walk in and they're like, just the two of you? And it's like, why, yes. and then they look at each other. They're like, oh, follow me. And they look at it. They've been expecting us. And it's just like, that's how restaurants work. You never been to a restaurant?
They're children. No.
I was a child at a restaurant once.
And you went into a restaurant alone and they talked to you like, oh, is it just you?
No, but I did. Okay, so one time, speaking of Chinese restaurant, I went to this Chinese restaurant, right? And it was a buffet.
Okay.
And they did not count children by age, get the child price. They did it by how tall you were. And so one time my mom and I went in there with my mom and my brother. And then the lady looked at my mom and said, she's too tall. My mom's like, what the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? She's 10. No, she's too tall. And so my mom, she's like, you gotta go like this next time we walk in there. I gotta be shorter. But I just thought that was crazy. You could be 20 and like 2 feet tall. Kid price.
Like you.
I am not 2 feet tall. Okay,
I'm like average size for Napoleon Bonaparte.
I'm literally average size.
Look at her getting all upset. She's gonna get.
We're like the same height. He's just mad.
She's throwing a whole tantrum. She'll just kick her feet. Her feet barely touch the ground. It's very comical.
We're the same height.
Are we? What's your height?
5'4".
I'm 5'10".
Doubt it. Oh, I'm 5'10", but I can't be 5'10". You got to round it up 5'11". And say, but you can't be 5'11". 6 foot.
Well, everyone.
But you can't be 6 foot because it's just too suspicious. So you're 6'1".
Well, every guy knows you can't be 5'10". You're 6'1" because Tinder's ruined the concept of height.
No. I like my explanation better.
Yeah.
6'1".
I do like. I've seen a text chain from like Reddit, and they were like, just like fucked over my sister's boyfriend. walked in. And she was like, he's 6'1", and he was like, no, he isn't. I'm 5'10", and we're the same height. And she was like, that son of a bitch.
I think it's so funny because, well, I mean, I am a woman. I'm a woomph.
Yeah.
And
hear you roar.
hear me roar.
Do the roar.
Do the roar. I love you, daddy. That's my favorite scene. But no. So for my favorite Shrek movie, I am a Shrek fan.
She's a Shrek bitch.
I am a
Shrek. Shrek.
God, I would never say that.
It didn't work.
Bitch. But anyways, what were we talking about? Oh God!
You just said I am a woman. You just led with that.
Okay. I remember. Okay, I'm a woomph, and I've dated somebody that was like my height, maybe like an inch or two taller.
We get it. You've been in relationships.
Yeah. This one was toxic, bro. Okay, so he was like 5'5", 5'6".
Okay.
And he was so toxic and everything. And just gaslight me all the time, like say things just to see what I would say, and then when I said them, he'd be like, "Oh, you did it." I was like, "What?" Okay,
Is
right?
this gonna lead into him being short?
He is short, and so I don't know. I think short guys are crazy because everybody else I've dated 6 foot, not as crazy as him. I think he has like short man syndrome. Maybe that's a real thing. Have you seen the bagel guy?
You have short woman syndrome.
I'm not short. I'm average.
Look at her. Look at that anger.
No. Have you seen the bagel guy?
No, the bagel guy?
Yeah. I think he's dead, but it's the guy in the bagel store that's yelling because he's mad because he's short and no one respects him.
I don't know what fanfic you're writing, but I've never heard of this.
Anyways, they're at the Chinese restaurant.
And they don't know what to order because they're children. And he was like, I mean, the cashew chickens. Well, I was like, you'll get your cash soon enough, and don't call me chicken.
yeah, I loved that part. And no, because it was a sister. You'll get your cash when we get our parents. And he's like, and don't call us chicken.
Yeah,
like it's just. I thought it was funny.
I don't typically like kid actors in general because I don't really like kids, but I like these kids. These kids are really funny.
Yeah, no, they were pretty good. I liked them a lot.
Yeah. And then they get the fortune cookie, which
no.
I was about to backtrack because it was really weird. They had all this food and all the waiters appeared and took it away. I'm like, they didn't even start eating yet.
They didn't even eat. They were just throwing everything in the restaurant.
And they were like, yeah, cool. And I'm like, these kids don't have money.
I know. Maybe that's why they took the food away. But then why'd they get them a fortune cookie?
Yeah. Well, maybe they'll like high praise to their parents.
Yeah.
And then they say that you'll have, what is their fortune? Like you'll have the time of your life or something? It's something.
No.
Really
Well,
generic.
you forgot. It pans to the dad again. What is it called? The dump truck? Truck. He's on the back and he lays on it and he falls asleep.
Just like me.
And then he wakes up and they're at the gas station. He's like, where is it? It's behind him. And he's like, where is it? And then they start driving away and he turns around and he's like, where you least expect.
No. It's like it's always the last place you look.
and then he like goes after it again. So he's still fucking following this thing.
Those calves.
I was thinking, I was like, this man's buff. I need to see those little
like,
legs.
Joan, you are lucky.
What?
I mean, his wife. The stamina of that man.
No, ew, his legs. He's just a little bunny. I was thinking about that, but you know how in olden times, in those like,
yeah, what is olden times?
Victorian times?
Oh, okay,
maybe?
okay. It was like I thought you were gonna drop
Actually
like the
old.
70s.
No. In their portraits, they would be showing their calves, and that's like how they showed.
Oh yeah, their mateability.
Yeah, like that was like their hoo-ha.
Yeah, because like men used to wear like pantyhose and shit.
Yeah, so they're showing off their legs. It's just like to show off. I was like thinking about him. I was like, dude, he'd win.
Yeah,
those legs are good. Even though I think man legs are gross. So.
Yeah, see, Katie and I watched WWE after reviewing Dougal, and she started with, aren't men's thighs so disgusting? And then like 20 seconds later, those are some sexy ass thighs. I was like, which one is it?
No, it's just because most of those guys don't hit legs, so it's like the tiniest little thighs I've ever seen, and then these buff arms. So then I was like, ew, it's just, and then they're hairless because they're wrestlers, and then they're oily, and I'm like, ew. And then, but another guy popped on stage, and he was pretty hot, so I was like, oh, these thighs are pretty, well, because he worked out. They were proportionate.
So he finds the truck, and then we're back to the kids. The kids get the fortune cookie, and the fortune cookie. Did you write that down?
Yes. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Time flies."
They're like, "It's a note. It's a message."
Yeah.
They never had a fortune cookie.
Yeah, they never had a fortune cookie before. And then he was like, "We passed the times on the way here," and she was like, "It was on fun on the corner of fun and flies," and he was like, "No, it's maple and fish." She's like, "It's the same thing."
yeah. So they're going to the newspaper now because it's called the Times.
Yeah, like
the
most
Times.
newspapers, it's whatever their town is. I like that the kids are having like the adult jokes. Like, no. It's maple and fish. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I like that part too because it was just it's like showing stupidity, and then also at the same time like, you're so stupid. Like, no, it wasn't.
Yeah. Like it's interesting to see where their lines are.
Yeah.
And now we're back to the dad. The mom is still searching for the kids, and she will be coming back soon.
Yes.
But now we're at the dad. He has finally found the landfill.
Yes.
And he puts on a bush, and he's like, "I must become a bush.
Yes.
I must think.
I have to get in the mind of a bush." And he's like,
bush with arms.
Oh my God, I have arms. I'm like, he really got into the role.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh my God, I'm a bush with legs."
Yeah. It's just like,
and then he screams, "I'm man bush. I am nature's greatest wonder."
Yeah, and then someone looks at him, and then
the truck drivers look at him.
Yeah, and he's just like this. He's just holding still.
Yeah, and then they drive away, and they're like, they had no clue I wasn't a bush.
Yeah, I just thought it was so funny. He just really got into the role.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I saw a man like that, I think I'd just
in a landfill.
In a landfill,
I'd be like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep driving because that man has a knife. I bet you money that man would kill me.
That man has taken some drugs.
Yeah, some drugs,
if not all.
Yeah, that man went through a landfill and then blacked out.
Yeah, and I thought it was just icing on top when the people didn't even the
dump truck people.
When they didn't even say anything, they were just like, yeah.
But like, honestly, would you say something like, we just like, I mean, he like, in my mind, if I saw that, I'm like, he is on drugs and he will kill me.
No, I would have said something. I would have said, "What a good looking bush," and just see what they would have said. Like, you just go in with with what they're thinking.
Oh, like you just like,
oh my God, look at that bush. Because then they'd probably start posing or something, you know?
Yeah.
Or
Wait,
I
now
would.
that you've said bush several times, I'm surprised you didn't make an innuendo.
Nope, it's just a bush.
It's just a bush.
It's just a
He
bush.
didn't even make it. It's like, I need a trim, I think. Like, he didn't
Oh
even
my
make it.
God. Why do you take it there?
Because I just told you said it too many times.
Bush, 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 bush.
And now we're back to the mom. The dad, we're taking a break. The dad is where he needs to be. He now knows where his trash is going.
Yeah.
And the mom has finally found the kids. And in the middle, I guess, of New York City. Yes.
They were running into the newspaper, and she saw them while she was driving, and she stopped her car and caused like a 12-car accident.
I was literally saying that.
You didn't say it though.
Because you cut me off.
But also, I want to note that the kids locked their bikes up on the bus.
On the bus, yeah.
At the back of the bus, and then the bus obviously drove away.
Yep. I almost expected that she had just locked the bikes together, and then I was happier with the actual result.
Yeah, but okay, so they lose their bikes. The mom just lost her car.
Yep.
And it's just like,
and then she thinks that the cops are in this big conspiracy to kidnap her kids, so she goes into a wig store and buys every single wig that they have to build an outfit.
a disguise.
Yeah, a disguise. And then
a hairy one.
Talk about bush, am I right?
Hey! Now it won't big bush.
I'm woman bush.
Oh God. Fill me roar hear me roar? You feel a bush.
But I took it too far. This is a kid's show.
It's a movie.
So she goes in and then she like nonchalantly walks past the cop. She's like, "Hello, officer," while they're putting a ticket on her car because it caused like a 12 car pileup, and then she just runs into the.
Well, I was thinking, with all those wigs, that must have been so expensive.
Well, yeah, they're loaded.
No, she's wearing like a gajillion wigs.
Yeah.
What do you mean they're loaded?
I don't know. They won't tell us how much they make, but they can afford to have a...
They don't tell you in every movie, like, hey, kids, at the beginning of this movie, I want to let you know that the main characters make $100K a year.
I think they make more than that. They have 2 cars. He's unemployed, seemingly.
Yeah, at this rate. I guess unemployment was just so good back then.
COVID times.
Yeah.
Topical. So she gets in to the newspaper, and then we're back to the dad. So we cut back to the dad, and I write, the fucking mafia's in this movie. Oh wait, no, it's just the military.
Yeah. So it's like, okay. Also, I'm confused. I just realized this. He's still a fucking bush. He's just sitting there being a bush. I think he's just.
No, he's out of the bush costume by that point.
Okay, good. Why is he still at the dumpster?
Because he's still trying to figure out who's stealing his trash. He is like dead set on finding the trash stealer.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so now imagine you have Russians, a bunch of people from Asia, and all these different nationalities and cultures just coming together to buy some good old weapons. Yes,
military grade weapons.
Yeah, and arms deal.
Yes, is the main guy? Is he a commander? I didn't really get lieutenant. I don't know, whatever. He's like head guy. But I was thinking there was like a lot of soldiers also surrounded. Like there was a bunch of soldiers there, and the lieutenant commander, whatever guy, and his little sidekick. So the 2 head guys, and then just soldiers. If this is like obviously they're doing illegal stuff.
They are.
They have too many minions in on this. Like, why are they all just okay with it? You know, like, when you're doing something bad, you don't want everyone to know.
That's true.
I was thinking that. I was like, there's too many people.
Well, I don't know. That's a good point. I mean, I'm sure the payout, like, probably, like, made it even, though.
Yeah.
But basically, Stanley just walked through an arms deal. Nobody ever says really anything. Yeah. They just let him exist around them. And... they are like, these are really nice weapons. They can blow up cars just by shooting at them. And then Stanley's like, do you guys know that they steal trash? And they're like, who are you? And he's like, all right. And then walks off.
Yeah, he's just walking around.
Yeah, like hands behind his back, just like, hey, how's it going? What's going on? And then he tries to write something down and like ask the dude for his pen. And he's just chilling. He's just vibing with everybody.
Who?
I don't know. He just like stops next to 2 people and like leans over really close. He's like, do you have a pen? And then the guy opens up his thing and you see a giant ass pistol and then a little pen. And then he takes it out and gives it to Stanley. He's like, thank you.
So oblivious.
Yeah.
I want to live like that, but I don't.
And then so now we know Stanley is now involved in arms dealing, and they're like, this dude's a fucking genius. Hard cut. We're back to the mom and the kids.
Yes.
This movie does not stop. Everything's happening.
Eventually they're all together, but at the first half or so, it's hard cut to each one.
Yeah, and it's like, I wrote at this point, which is weird that you also said this family just gets to do anything. They got in, Stanley is in the middle of a top secret arms deal. Nobody says anything.
Yeah.
The mom and 2 kids somehow get past security and get into a newspaper building with no issue. They're just walking around.
They're just there. They find, so when they first run into the mother.
Yep.
I just love it because Buster, the daughter was like, Buster, it's some kind of ape woman. And the way that she shows them that it's her, she takes one wig off her shoulder. You couldn't even see her shoulder.
She took off a wig to show another wig. And they're like, oh my God, Mama!
So I was just like, alrighty then.
Yeah. Well, logic for chains. If someone's going to strip off their shoulder, it's probably your parents. It's the first thing I learned when I was a baby.
I don't like it.
And then so they're in the newspaper thing, and they go to a computer terminal,
Mm-hmm.
and they type a bunch of shit on it, thinking that they're on Google, basically, because they're trying to figure out where Stanley is. And Petunia says, it's time to take a ride on the super information highway.
Yeah.
Which
She's
I'm sure, I think I've heard Katie say the exact same thing when
No.
she clocks into work.
No. But the thing was, like, I liked how she was taking lead.
Yeah,
like, I know this, but she literally has no fucking idea.
Yeah. And then they somehow get a picture of Stanley in the newspaper when they didn't pull a picture, but they make them print out 2 alien pilots pick their nose by Stanley.
Yeah, because the original title was like 2 aliens picked up by pilot network or something like that.
2 alien pilots picked up by network.
Yes, and then so when she's typing, she changed it to say 2 aliens pick their noses.
Because they think the nose is the password.
Yeah, and then they put Stanley stupid because they're looking for their dad. So it looks like he wrote the story. And then so they put his picture in the drive.
Right.
And then it blew up the computer, but then somehow the picture still got on the newspaper.
It not only blew up the computer, it somehow blew up the entire office computer.
Yeah.
Like, man, the 90s really, all it took was one person to trip over a wire, and then that's it. The entire newspaper. Wait, but don't worry. They still somehow printed the paper.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was like, okay. But so when they put the picture in there, it was like the drive B is broken or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Beware.
Failure. Yeah, failure in drive B.
Yeah, beware of the drive B. So, yeah, there's that. But then back to the dad.
Hold on.
What?
You forgot something that is actually really important.
Well, no.
They reveal that aliens actually exist because they give them the aliens the newspaper where it says that they pick their noses.
And they got mad.
And they're like, oh, we're going to fucking kill this Stanley motherfucker.
You said Stanley's stupid.
You stupid for printing this.
You right, you stupid.
Okay, now we can go.
Well, it's dad. Their dad is at the dump. And so he's saying all that stuff. I noticed the military guy, he said they refused his promotion.
Yes.
So he's selling, like, arms.
Yeah, like, he's like, I've given my time to the government, and they
didn't promote me, so I'm doing this. And I was like, you fucking bitch.
Well, I also, I understand it to an extent.
Oh, yeah. My boss didn't promote me, so, I sold all of our information about our company.
That's
to the
the
other
only
guy.
reason why I did this podcast. Get him. Throw the book.
She said it. No, it's just like, it just seems like, I don't know. It's just weak beta. I don't know.
Hashtag beta status.
Beta. The military guy, they think Stanley's CIA. They think, they found us, blah, blah.
And they think he's like this confident motherfucker, even though he's fighting with the tire that he somehow got stuck on him.
And they said,
what
genius.
A genius.
Yeah, so I don't know. So they somehow, because he just happened to find them, so they think he's a genius.
Yep.
So Stanley goes up to them, and he's like, can I have a ride? And he's like, just take my car.
Which what a response! Like, he didn't have. I was like, is his car like rigged to blow up? I just was waiting for the car to be rigged. Nah, he just gave his 20,000 Cadillac to a complete stranger.
Yeah, and I have
no wonder he has to sell arms deals. He's dumb with money.
I know. Maybe he doesn't even know what he's doing.
Yeah. Maybe he.
Wait, they're bad guys?
Maybe he's the stupid one all along.
But I did write that he was hot. He was hot in that scene, and then I saw him.
Certainly is a skinny-ish white dude.
Okay.
Hashtag typecast.
No. Anyway, I wrote that, but then the next scene where I saw him, I was like, ew, he looks old.
Yeah. Katie's love opinions are fickle, like a flip of the coin.
What do you mean?
I hate thighs. Oh, I want more of them. Oh, I hate calves. I could do some more of them.
I'm sorry that my thought process is fluid.
Fluid. It's like a river rapid.
I know, dude. It hurts sometimes. I don't know what I think. They're trying to kill Stanley. They get a guy to go and try to kill him, and he's shooting at the car. Hits the gas thing, so gas is flying out, whatever, and then he throws this thing, the little the thing where you light a cigarette from the car.
Oh, the thing in the car where you push it and it gets really hot so you can light a cigarette. Yes. Yeah, I actually do not know the name of that either.
Yeah, but anyways, and then he throws it out, so then he blows that car up because he's driving and shooting at him.
It ignites the thing.
And then he gets to the gas station. The guy's like, you have a hole in your tank? And he's like, yeah, that's how you fill it up. I thought that was good.
Which fucking burn.
Yeah.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you probably saw me like lean over and start laughing, and it's because I specifically remembered that scene and just laughed at it again.
Yeah, no, that's funny. He's like, yeah, of course it does. And so then the guy was just like, okay, whatever. He puts gum on it.
Yeah.
But then they sent another person to kill him, I guess. And it's a guy and he's trying to do chloroform. But this Mr. Stupid is using the water and the air for your car to clean himself. And so when he does the air part, the chloroform like cloth hits the guy in the face and then he passes out.
Yep.
So,
and then he wakes up almost immediately. I'm like, chloroform is definitely a multi-hour thing.
Yeah, and then he just like explodes into the air or something. I don't know.
It's because he had like Assassin's Creed like knives in his thing, and he accidentally stabbed the tire and made him shoot him up in the air. And somehow chickens were also at that gas station.
I know. I was like, I really liked how they placed the chickens though, because it looked like the chicken was still as fuck in the air. It wasn't moving. It was definitely fake. But it was just funny. So the second guy. Nothing. So that's 2 attempts on Stanley's life that he has magooed his way out of successfully. And so then the third one.
He is driving. Somebody puts a bomb on his car.
Yeah.
And at this point, he is talking to his wife and kids, and they're like, beware of drive B.
And he's like, the drive B?
And then a bee lands on. He's like, drive B.
No. He's like, there's a bee surrounding him, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you're bothering me. I'm trying to drive. The drive me. And then he like pulls over and the bomb is like at 10 seconds right now. It's ticking down. And then he goes finds the bee. It's on the front of the car and he hits it with his shoe and then the car explodes. Poof. And so the commander and lieutenant or whatever, they're like,
no way, nobody could survive it.
No one can survive that.
They
He's
haven't
done
met fucking
for.
Stanley motherfucking
They don't know
stupid.
my man Stanley motherfucking stupid. So and then it just cuts to him and he's like, wow, it's just the front of the car did not blow up, but everything else did. And he looks at his shoe and he's like, that's a well-made shoe.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a dangerous shoe. So I thought that was funny. And I liked how the progression of them trying to kill him.
Yeah, one thing I will like definitely comment on this movie is that they do a really good job with a lot of foreshadowing and then a lot of payoffs. Like they'll set up a joke and then they'll pay it off really well.
Yeah.
Like, I really like that. Like, they were definitely thinking about how each coincidence could pay itself off.
Yeah.
So now he finally gets home. He first gets stopped in the wrong yard and ripping out his...
No, wait.
Mm-hmm.
You missed something.
What did I miss?
So, it was just the kids and the mom at home.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking. And then they want to call 911. But she's like, I'm going to call someone even higher. And then did you get this? She's like, and then she calls, I'm going to call 754-9611.
Yeah, I didn't understand that joke at all.
I was just like, okay, I don't get it. But anyways, she calls this number and it's, what is it? A deli. Floyd. I thought Floyd's. And she's like, I need your help. He's like, let me guess. You've had a busy day. You haven't had time to cook or anything. She's like, oh, yes. And then he's like, okay, do you like coleslaw? She's like, yeah. And he's like, don't worry, I'll be there. And I got it all handled. And she's like, thank you.
Once again, this is all in one day.
Yes. Oh, my God. But, yeah, Stanley makes it home. But he's in the wrong front yard.
And then his neighbor's like, move. And then
No. You missed the joke.
Go on.
He says, Buster, is that you? Have I been gone so long? Because it's the old man.
Oh, right.
Yeah, come on. And then he's like, get out of my fucking lawn. And then
Stanley, you're in the wrong house again.
Yeah, and then Buster comes out and he's like, Dad. And he's like, oh, today just keeps getting weirder. And so now he's finally freaking home. And then
now we're revealed about... Now, this happened before Stanley gets home, but we'll recap. Is Stanley used to work at the post office, and he got mysteriously fired because he found out that things were being returned to sender. And who's this sender? And then he gets fired the next day. Well,
okay, so he's sorting out the mail, and everything says return to sender. And he's like, who is this sender guy? Blah, blah, blah. And then he tells his boss, and the next day he gets fired because he's fucking stupid. But they don't understand. They're like, he was on to something.
Yeah, they think it was like a big conspiracy. And then we go in, and then he's like, all right, kids, I'm going to tell you everything I've learned. And then we see this amazing, like, dreamlike flashback with Christopher Lee. And I'm assuming you don't know who that is.
That's the sender guy.
Yes.
Yeah, he was in Willy Wonka. He was the dad. The dentist.
He was.
That's how I knew him.
Yeah. He also plays Dracula, which is why he had like really pointy nails. I think they were trying to make him look a little bit like Dracula, which he's like one of his like
most known.
It's like an iconic role. I wouldn't say most known role.
Iconic.
I've been doing a lot of research in like old like Universal monster movies, so my brain's a little bit more in tune to it than usual. So Christopher Lee is a sender. We have this amazing, elaborate, like, flashback.
Where the police are on the sender's side.
Yep. Yeah.
And also this part I thought was super funny. It was the dumpster guys. Mm-hmm. The trash guys. Or what are they called? Trashmen?
Yeah, trashmen.
The trashmen. And then he's like, yeah, no one saw us, Mr. Sender. And there's just this stupid bush here. And it's just a plain bush. Like, that's how we thought he looked.
Yeah. And then he fades into the bush.
Yeah.
It's just his eyes.
Yeah, I thought it was so funny. But my mind was blown when I was watching it yesterday. Because my whole life, I did not know that this was just Stanley Stupid's point of view.
Yeah.
I thought that this was a point in the movie where it's like, oh, it's real.
Yeah, no, the entire time I was like, I kept writing, is this a real thing? This is super specific.
Yeah.
And then it's revealed that he's just giving his family the update, which, how did he know about the coleslaw? On the sheet, he has coleslaw. I was like, he wasn't there for that.
Yeah, maybe they told him.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Because they also had like Chinese restaurant or like the Jade Palace. And I was like, I mean, he wasn't there for those. So they must have like been collaborating a lot.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying that I've watched the whole movie 1 billion times and I never knew that was just him talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So I was like, wait a minute, that's not real. Because I would always be at the end of the movie thinking, well, then what's real? Were they right? I never caught on.
Oh, man. Distant cousin? Huh?
What?
Get it? You're
No.
a distant cousin of the Stupids?
All right. All right.
And then he's like, it's going to take years to find them. And then Petunia's like, there's a man named Sender with the last name Sender in the phone book. And he's like, the manhunt begins.
Yeah.
And then the CGI dog comes out and is like, hey, dipshit, you forgot your keys. He's like, no, man, I gotta, like, mouth-to-mouth resuscitate this fucking battery to turn on the car.
Yeah.
And then he does, and then you find out that electricity makes him smart. And he's like, what are you doing, Stanley?
Yeah, because he's doing mouth-to-mouth and he gets electrocuted, and then he's
as
like...
As you do.
As you would. And he's like, I'm putting my family in danger for something that doesn't even make any sense. And
yeah,
blah, blah,
and
blah.
it's almost a little bit like sad because he's like, Stanley, you need to keep this up and warn your family. Do not let go of this insight. You need to stay like lucid. And then he's dumb and he's like, I don't remember. I was like, oh no. He kind of understands that he's dumb.
Yeah.
And there's a part of him that is aggressively trying to overcome it.
Yeah. But that's where, because the wife was like, what happened, Stanley? And he's like, nothing. And he like back. That's like me and you. So after I like rant when I'm spiraling.
Yeah.
And I'm telling, life's terrible. And then you're like, 10 minutes later, I'm like, look at the cat. It's so cute. Yeah.
I do like the line that he's saying, insight fading. Which that's me when I'm getting overwhelmed at work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once again, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, I'm shamefully very similar to Stanley Stupid in a lot of cases.
No comment.
And then they speed off, and Floyd just shows up with their dinner order, and he's like, "You've insulted Floyd."
Yeah, I will find you.
Yeah. And now they're going to a museum to find the sender. Mm-hmm. And they split up, and they break into the museum.
So it's the dad and the daughter, and the mom and the son.
Dad and the daughter go to the planetarium, and the lights shut off on them.
They think they died.
Yep. And they're like, so this is heaven.
The only logical step when the lights turn off.
She was like, Dad, I miss Mom and Buster. And he was like, don't worry, they'll be joining us soon.
The way your mom drives.
And Petuna's like...
I thought that was pretty good.
It was a good joke. By the way, audio listeners, I gave Katie a shocked Pikachu face.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Well, I gotta, some people could be listening to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our one viewer.
Yeah. It's us.
Yeah.
Hello, us in the future.
Yeah. Hey, Katie.
You're not short. You're tall. Don't let him talk to you like that.
You fucking bitch.
Wait a second. Fuck you. You start yelling at the camera. It's just a back and forth.
Yeah. But so, and then a guy comes in.
And he's like, it's time to meet our creator.
They think it's Jabibus, the Lord.
The Lord.
The Lord.
The Holy Spirit.
They think it's the Lord, and he's like, it's pronounced Lloyd. And they're like, we've been saying
it wrong this whole time.
Yeah. So, in the name of the Lloyd.
Yeah, and so like that is now a reoccurring thing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, so they start talking to the janitor, Lloyd. Meanwhile, Joan and Buster are fucking around. They do find the sender's little black book.
Yes, with his like schedule.
Yep. And then Buster is like, what's this machine? I'm like, Buster hasn't seen an elevator before.
Well, okay, on the wall there's paintings, and it's saying like it's going older and older, time. It's like, 2000 BC and da, da, da. And then he sees the elevator and he's like, it's a time machine.
Yeah, and then he hits all the buttons, just like Katie does in an elevator.
Yeah, as you do.
And his mom's like, no! And then she's like
and then she jumps in there, and then she's like, what did you press? He's like, a bunch of numbers, and then BC.
I wonder what C meant. Basement. B is basement. I wonder what C is in that elevator.
I think it's just ABC.
Yeah, but then what's
1, 2, 3. But why? Okay, so B would be basement, but we don't know what A and C is, but we know that B means basement.
Well, yeah.
1 of 3, no. I think it's just A, B, C, 1, 2, 3.
In every elevator, there's a B for basement.
No, there's not.
If there's a basement in the building, there's B for basement.
No, there's not.
Okay. Katie doesn't know what a basement is because she's too scared to go.
Yeah, well, guess what? The B wasn't at the bottom anyways. It was A, B, C. And yes, I don't like basements. They scare me.
And then the elevator opens. The music ramps up. Shout out to the composer.
Yes, and they're at a museum right now. So
they are in a museum, trying to find the sender because the sender is a full-time scientist, coordinator for the museum. Yeah, historical coordinator.
Yeah,
and they think that they're in BC common era with the dinosaurs, even though they're all dead.
Yes, because the floor they open on is just like cavemen and stuff.
Dino bones.
It's dino bones. Yes,
and Buster whips out a marker. Fat marker.
Yeah, where was he keeping that?
Audio podcast. I apologize. The video people, it was thicker than this microphone.
No, it wasn't.
It was like this big.
No, it wasn't.
All right, whatever.
This sounds like something you've said before. I swear, it was like this big.
Anyway, Buster whips out this thick ass red Sharpie.
It was orange.
Orange, thank you. And he has a full-on power trip. And she was like, Buster, what are you doing? It's like, if I write my name is the first name written in history, and they were all bowed down to me. And she's like, we got to get out of here.
Yeah. She's like, well, you're going hungry with power.
Yeah. So they run out. They're all fine. They meet back up, and she's like, hey, we know where to go next. Also, your son probably needs to go to therapy.
And
he
they're
has
like,
a weird power complex.
Oh, Buster. But the thing is, his dad did the same thing when he was a Bush. He's like, I'm the first human Bush. It's like, they have issues.
Yeah. They're completely oblivious, but it also makes them extremely confident.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, for anyone listening at little DJ's advice corner, if you walk into any building and you act like you know where you're going, 9 out of 10 times you will be allowed in that building. No questions asked.
Yeah, what my avid teacher used to say a lot is just walk with purpose.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you walk like you know where you're going, good chance nobody wants to talk to you.
Yeah, just be confident.
Yep.
But also don't do that to do bad things.
Yeah.
Just do that when you're going into a restaurant and need to use the bathroom so they don't stop you and say you're not a customer, you can't use the bathroom, and you're about to literally shit your fucking pants. Happened to me in Asheville. I just walked right in and I was like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I'm about to shit my pants and just drank a bunch of coffee. I bombed that bathroom.
Did you at least buy something when you got out?
Fuck no. I left. I was like, they don't need any more of this here. I was like, they want me to leave.
She was like, you want me to eat when your establishment smells like this?
Yeah. Disgusting. Clean the place up first, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Kyler was texting me, you good? I'm like, don't text me. I'm taking a shit right now. I'm sweating on the toilet.
I'm fighting for my fucking life in here, okay?
You're out there eating what, pancakes? It was like a brunch place, too.
Jesus fuck, get me a mimosa.
I need one.
I need a blackout from this moment.
Just roll it under the door.
Do you want this in the podcast?
I don't give a fuck. I took a shit in a restaurant. Sue me.
So, good callback. I want to get sued because some guy's too hot. You want to get sued because you shit in public restrooms without paying.
Yeah, I didn't pay. I think they were... I think if they went to the bathroom afterward, they would have been like, let her go. Like,
don't keep her here.
Yeah,
you don't know if this is the second round kind of thing.
Yeah, no. Oh, my God.
So anyway, they go to the news station. That is more than just a news station because it has it's like a full fucking like production studio. Mm-hmm. They're filming the news. They're filming like a game show. They're filming a dating show. Like they're filming all the shows. And I'm like, that's not how that works either.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like a news station is specifically a news station.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but I liked it for the movie.
Yeah, no, it made sense for the movie, but like how they represented journalists in this movie are like, because like when they at the newspaper, like they wrote the headline, and then she's like, I need help in the metro. I'm like, yeah, no, they don't cross-pollinate beats. It's her job to get her shit done. Like, if she's on the entertainment beat, she wouldn't just be like, okay, I'm done with my shit, so I'm going to go work on the, like, police beat. Like, you know, your beat is entertainment. It doesn't cross-populate like that.
Got it.
Not like it matters. Anyway, they're in this TV station trying to find Sender. Petunia and Joan, they go to the late night talk show host and they keep flicking a switch.
Well, yeah. Well, they convinced this guy to hand over his package because he's like, I'm delivering here. And she's like, I'm delivering here.
Once again, walk in with confidence.
Yeah, walk in with confidence. And so then he's like, can you just deliver this then? And she's like, yeah. So she's taking it there and they're in the back. How did she even freaking find it? Anyway, she just ran I guess in a random place. They don't really say if she's in the right place. Mm-hmm. But she's flicking a little switch and it happens to be the applause for the TV show.
Yeah.
So it's pretty funny because she's like telling sad stories and then they're applauding.
It's a famous actress, Jenny McCarthy, I think.
I don't know. Like she's blonde.
Yeah, she's a blonde woman. And then she was like, this was a really traumatic part of my life. And they're like, yeah.
Yeah, the applause.
And she was like, stop clapping. And they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, fine. Would you rather read books for a living? They're like, yeah.
Yeah. and then that's the thing. Then they start writing on a postcard. And because the guy, when he gave him the package to deliver.
Not a postcard. The only reason I'm correcting you, it's like a script card.
Script card.
A postcard is a small
I meant like a poster board
A
card.
poster board.
Yeah.
That's the reason. That's the only reason why I clarified. Because there is a big difference between a poster board and a postcard.
You knew what I meant.
They didn't though.
Okay. Anyways, they're writing on it because the guy who gave him the package said, just give it to the fat guy.
Yeah.
So she writes that on the thing. And
That's why she wrote that.
Yes.
I forgot. I was like, I don't know why she wrote that.
No, she wrote it on there because of that. And so then it's the, what did you call it? Card? What is it called?
It's a cue card.
Cue card. So he's reading the cue cards and he's like,
All
our
right.
next guest
is a chef, a French chef. Everybody give it to the fat guy.
Yeah. And then the chef is like, you called me fat?
Oui, what? It's a bunch of French shit.
Oh, yeah. That's not French.
That's what you get, French people. They're never going to be freedom fries. There'll always be French fries. Oh, wait, that's in support of France.
I don't get it.
Do you not know the
Do they know what a French fry is?
Who's they?
French.
French people?
Yeah. Did they name the fry or did we name the fry?
I think we named it, actually. But do you know the freedom fry thing?
No.
When 9/11 happened, France didn't really help us, so a lot of people got ass hurt about it, so they tried to change the name of French fries to freedom fries. That's a real fact.
That's really gonna get them.
Yeah. It was really dumb and didn't last that long. I'm actually gonna keep that in because that's a true fact and I think it's very funny.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And now we go to Stanley, who they make a homophobic thing because Buster's like, they're putting makeup on men in the room.
No. Well, yeah. But he says to look out for anything strange, and he's like, Dad, they're putting makeup on men in there, and then he's like, yeah, that's weird. Yeah. So yes, you're right, but
yes,
but it was because
it's 90s humor. So
yeah. And then they go in there, and somehow he ends up on a TV show.
Which is even weirder because the room of men were in Roman costumes, so you would assume that Stanley was going to get put into a Roman sketch. Anyway, it was just like a talk show. It was like an Ellen show, an Oprah show, or like it's just one of those daytime.
Jerry Springer minus the
Dr. Phil, more like it.
Oh yeah, Dr. Phil.
Yeah,
Phil.
definitely Dr. Phil.
Dr.
And they were asking like, what is your weird relationship fact?
It was just like, was it all about relationships?
Yeah, it was like
okay.
specifically, what is your weird relationship tick or quirk?
Oh, well, I liked one. Well, one of them was like, I'm engaged to 3 of my cousins.
Yep.
I was like, number one, you're engaged to 3 people.
Yep.
2, they're all your cousins. Like, that's bold.
And then we get to Stanley, and then it randomly turns into a musical, and he sings I'm My Own Grandpa.
He's like, well, actually, I'm my own grandpa. What? And then he just starts singing. It gets stuck in your fucking head, I'll tell you what. I love that song.
I actually don't remember a single thing about that song.
Oh my God.
It got too
many years ago when I was 23. That's how it started. No?
I fucked my mom and then she married me. Sorry.
I don't remember that line, but
I mean, that was essentially it, though. Like
he
had sex with his wife, who turned out to be his mom.
No.
So he had a son, and that's how he became his own grandfather. And that's
stepmom, stepdad,
something like that. It got so convoluted. It's basically a very long song to talk about his family tree.
Yeah.
And my brain at some point was like, I don't care.
I'm my own grandpa.
And then what was the little head thing that everyone in the audience was doing?
It's so funny, I know, but it really is so. I'm my own grandpa. And then the lady was like, oh, what did she say? Oh, frick, I can't remember. She's like, this has got to be the strangest thing I ever heard.
Yep. And then the plot significance. Do you remember why this is important plot-wise?
No, not at all.
The military men find out that he's still alive because they see him on TV.
Oh, yeah, because they're being broadcast.
Live.
And the military, he's like, what the fuck?
He's not dead.
He's not dead. And he's like,
he's not dead.
We got to get him.
We got to get him.
Get
Come
now,
on, get. I'll tell you what. He was in motherfucker. I haven't seen that since
he been raised from the dead.
He came back from Bayou. I tell you what. That son just took my job.
Down in the bayou. It reminds me of The Princess and the Frog. I love that movie.
When they update Splash Mountain, we have to go again. Do you not know this?
No.
Oh, Splash Mountain is a ride in Disney, and they're making
Disney World?
Both.
Oh.
Both Disneyland, Disney World, and the international ones, but they're updating it to be Princess and the Frog.
Thank God, because every time I would go to Disneyland, they didn't have any Princess and the Frog stuff, and she's my favorite. Tiana. She's my favorite. She's my girl.
Yeah.
And Prince Naveen? Enough said. I said it with my eyes. Listeners, I'd fuck him.
And I said it with my mouth too.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Gotta kidnap him.
Yeah, essentially. And then so they find out. They immediately get to the news station a second later.
Yeah.
And then Stanley and Buster leave. They see Mr. Sender getting into the elevator. He's like, I don't have time. I got to get to Shrunken Heads.
Well, he said, I wrote it down. I'm taking the heads of 12 countries or something like that. Yeah. And so they're
this dude loves his job.
I know. But it's
yeah, that makes sense. I couldn't hear him, and the way I watched it, I couldn't get captions, so certain things I just could not hear.
Yeah. So he said, and they were like, "Oh my God, he's evil."
Yeah. He's just a dude that really loved working at a museum, and the reason why he was at the news station is a new exhibit was opening at the museum, so we had to go talk about it.
Yeah.
And then Stanley is like. He's like, man, this is crazy. It's like every time you say, don't fuck with the center, something bad happens. And the moment he says that, the army men grab him into the elevator and then take him away. It was,
yeah.
And then like really intense music happened and everyone looks up like, what the fuck was that? Like every so often they randomly acknowledge that they're in a movie. And I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
It's called breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, it was just funny because Buster was like, no, and then now it's on the hunt to find their dad.
Yep.
Jeez, another one gone.
And they track him down to the military base, which, you know what, good point. Why are they all doing this on the military base since they're doing something illegal?
I know.
But hey, whatever.
They're going to kill him on the military base.
Yeah, they're going to kill him
office.
on the military base. They're going to torture him. They tie him down. And
what do you know?
Yeah, he's like, nothing. I'm my own
grandpa.
You're like, okay.
I already seen that. Okay.
Yeah. That's a repeat. So they're like, we can't get in unless we're the military, and so they're like, we got to figure out what to do. And then we cut to Stanley, and then one of the people spits out their gum on the ground. And back in the planetarium,
we forgot to say it, but
Lloyd, they were like, Lloyd, what would you like to tell us right before we leave? He was like, if you guys could clean them up after yourselves, great advice, and pick up the gum. That's what I mainly do. And Stanley sees him throw that gum on the ground, and that dude sees red and beats the shit out of these dudes.
He said, in the name of the Lloyd.
Yeah, and then bam, bam, bam. And then he gets out. And then he runs to his car while his family is deciding that they're going to become a sovereign nation.
Yeah, so they can have their own military.
And so that way they can break into the military base. And then Stanley comes in, and then they're like, Stanley, you are now the co-president or whatever.
You're the head of this blah, blah, blah.
Of the army. You got to go get the husband. He's like, we're going to have to wait on that.
Yeah.
And then you find out that the kids are the smart ones because Stanley gets in the passengers and tries to start the car through the glove compartment, and it doesn't work naturally. And then the kids are like, Dad, you're in the wrong seat.
Yeah.
And then Buster is like, now Mom, give Dad the keys. And I was like,
yeah.
Oh, the kids are the smart ones, which, I mean, shit. A two-parter DJ advice corner.
Oh my god!
Everyone becomes their parents, but we're usually a little bit smarter than them.
Debatable.
Yeah, you're right. Your movie tastes hasn't evolved.
Hey, I am my father.
I am.
I
And then he's like, we got to get to Warehouse 21. They get to Warehouse 21, and then you get the big
boom, boom, bam, bam.
Yeah, very funny. Stanley uses his suspenders to get down gracefully. And
he didn't even do that on purpose.
Yeah, he didn't. Well, nothing he does is on purpose.
I know. Good point.
If people have you seen Deadpool 2 at all?
No.
No. There's a character. There's a character named Domino, and he was like, "What's your superpower?" And she's like, "I'm just lucky." And he was like, "Is that cinematic though?" And like her whole thing is that she's just like coincidentally everything lines up. That is their superpower. They're just lucky.
Yeah.
And then. So he's being hung by his suspenders, and then a gun ricochets and stops it, and he crashes on top of the truck, and then right before he gets up, audio listeners, I will explain what I'm about to do after I do it. He lays horizontally, like, what's going on? He's like, oh shit, I gotta get up. Like he props his arm up. He kind of looks like he's chilling, and then he remembers that there's people shooting at him. And then, just hijinks to go.
Well, the little the warehouse that they're at is where all the ammo and everything they're selling.
This is the final arms deal area.
Yeah, this is where the deal is going down.
Which is weird. Once again, in retrospect, the deal was going down in the landfill perfectly fine. Why they have to go to a warehouse to do it?
Well, that's where all the stuff was.
The wife goes in. She's like, it's so dangerous. There's so many little fires going on over here. Yeah. The Petunia finds a grenade and really likes the ring. So she pulls in. She's like, how lovely.
Dink.
Yeah. And then the cops happen to be driving past the warehouse. #lucky. And then they go protect everyone. The lieutenant throws his right-hand man under the bus. Mm-hmm. And he was like, officers, get him.
I found the head guy.
Yeah, what a dick. Anyway, good toodaloo.
Yeah, bye-bye.
And that's like it. Like
yeah.
Like, I mean, seriously, like there's like, wow, we did it.
Well, actually.
Right. So they go home, and the lieutenant.
Wait. Before they go home, they meet Mr. Sender.
They do meet Mr. Sender.
Yes. And he's at the warehouse somehow.
Because he's trying to get home, and he gets stopped by the cops because they block off the road.
Oh, he's like lost.
And he's like, okay, I got to find a new way around. And then Stanley meets him, and he's like, I'm lost. He's like, you are lost. You can be better.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to take a right here.
Yeah, it's like, and all you have to do is stay straight, stick to straight.
And
like
the
old man is like, okay, right.
Yeah, but he's trying to be like super deep, and the old man's like, okay, how the fuck do I get out of here?
Yeah. It's like, okay, cool. Well, that's a dead end, you dipshit.
Yeah.
So they go home after they resolve their sender thing, which good for them.
Yeah.
And then the lieutenant is waiting for them hiding in their house.
No. Yes, but no.
Go on.
They walk through the door, and then once they closed the door, the lieutenant was behind the door.
Yep.
And he's like, what did he even say?
Gotcha, bitch. I don't know.
He's like, fuck you. Yeah. You've gotten away from me. And then all of a sudden, kapow.
And Floyd's like, you thought you could get away from me, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, Floyd is there with his coleslaw, and he like hits the guy with the door. And then I thought it was funny because he's like, oh yeah, like, pay me. And then she's like, I don't know. I thought angels worked for free, or because they thought.
I didn't hear that. That's really funny.
Yeah, well, it was angels or something like that. He's like, I thought they would work for free.
Yeah, they were talking about Floyd being their guardian angel.
Yeah. And she's like, that's weird. And he's like, oh, Joe, or what is her name? Joan. Yeah. Oh, Joan, so naive, and he pays the guy. And it's just so
Which
fun.
Also, he pays the guy. Every time that they've exchanged cash, I don't know why, I've just looked at the cash. It's always ones.
Really?
Yeah, it's like he gave him like $3.
This movie was on a budget, DJ.
Yeah. One of the world's...
Oh my God, what's wrong with you? Oh my God!
How embarrassing. My overall was undone.
You're trying to show me your nipple.
I'm wearing a long sleeve t-shirt.
Well, it's cold in here.
It's not nipply in my house. Ugh.
Yeah. There's a 30% chance it's already cold.
Stop trying to make that happen.
It's not gonna happen.
Audio listeners, we're in, I don't know, an hour in, and Katie just grabbed her chest for the second time in this podcast history.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it won't be the last.
Yeah. Don't worry, she won't show her feet, but she'll do anything else.
They call them fun bags for a reason.
Yeah, Floyd saves the day, and then they just cut to them just having a normal barbecue.
Barbecue outside.
All synced clothing to watermelons. Love
and
that.
strawberries. There's strawberries,
Very
too.
cute.
Yep.
Petunia puts a air pump into a watermelon and splits it into perfect thirds or fourths. And then the aliens show back up.
Yes.
The aliens are here ready to fucking kill them. And then Stanley is like, okay, Buster, this is how you light a thing. You can't point the lighter fluid. You can't spray too much while he's just dousing.
The lighter fluid. And so he's like, it's just all over
the aliens.
Yeah.
And then he like throws a match on the ground for some reason.
Yeah.
And then the dog's like freaking out. He's like,
Yeah.
There's aliens. And then the aliens were like, fuck this. And they teleport back up to their ship with the fire, by the way.
Yeah.
Alyssa came in near the end of this movie, like halfway in, and I had to watch it for the podcast, so we finished it together. And she was like, why did the fire go with them? I was like, I don't know. I want to see, like, they're like, oh, fuck. Oh, no. It came back with us. And then that's the stupids. Day in their life.
And then, and that's the thing. That was only a day.
Yeah.
I'm fucking tired just thinking about that.
Joan woke up saying, I think this is going to be a good day.
Oh, yeah.
And
no sequel.
No sequel. Not based on anything. This movie came
one and done.
Yeah, came in and disappeared. So, our world famous, totally even in just full rating scale. Is this a frick no or a frick yes?
I would have to say a frick yes. And for a reason.
Okay.
There's just... Okay. The jokes were actually funny.
Yes.
The jokes were pretty funny. Also, there's a lot of like moments you could take away from it. That's just... I really liked.
What is that? What do you mean?
Like moments that stick with you. Like... You'll get the cash when we get our parents. Also, like, I'll just be at home and I'll start singing I Am My Own Grandpa. You know what I mean? Like, stuff that just lingers.
Yeah.
So, I really like it. The one-liners, the jokes. I've watched this a billion times and I still think it's funny. But not like, oh my God, I'm rolling on the floor. I'm dead.
This is a frick yes for me in a very specific scenario. Will I see this movie again? Will I seek this movie out?
Probably
Absolutely
not. Yeah.
However, if I ever go to my parents' house or if ever I'm flipping through channels and I see the stupid on, I'm like, oh, I gotta sit down and watch this movie.
Yeah.
It felt long. I'm an impatient movie watcher. I watch movies in 20-minute increments.
Yeah.
I'm a sitcom bitch, and that's how I view a lot of my content. And so it's a soft frick yes, not a hard frick yes, and it's not a hard no. Would you bring this up to a group of friends? No. But would you enjoy this like on a Friday night and you have nothing else to watch and you found it on Netflix? Yeah, I think you should watch it.
Have I brought this to a group of friends? Yes. Were they mad? Yes.
Are they friends anymore? No. Anyway, stay virtuous, my dudes, and you remember the movies won't get better,
and neither will we. No,
but we promise we might almost get better.
Yeah, we'll try.
Remember, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, tell us to your friends. Even if your friends don't listen, just have them play it in the background. The numbers really do help our dopamine rushes.